Welcome to 30 minutes of talking, except this time it's only going to be like 10 minutes because I don't know how much time I have right now, and I'm going to do a quickie. Yesterday I did one and it sucked ass really hard and it wasn't very good, and I don't think I'm going to be able to turn it into YouTube Shorts. And if I can't turn it into YouTube Shorts, it's a waste of time because it won't get views. So there you go. Just now, a truck is passing me, and I don't know why, and I think it was kind of loud. Might have been a trash collecting truck, but I will never know because it's already gone. I just meditated, and thought I'd share that. Just meditated to the Hare Krishna mantra, finna go with a metronome going beep, 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 and every time it beeped, I'd go finna be like, Hari, and then beep, and then Krishna, and then beep, and then Hari, and then beep, and then Krishna, and then beep, and then Krishna, Krishna, and then beep, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari, Hari. You see, that's the mantra. And the mantra in full, and again, I'm doing each word with a beep, the mantra would be Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And I did that with the beeps, and it ends up being kind of a good meditation because of the flow. Because you get in a flow with things, and when you get in a flow, you do a good job, okay? You get into this state, you get a little buzz, you get a little high, you get a little something out of that. It's a fun time. I recommend it. Plus, it makes your mental health better or something. Not that there's a better or worse. That's a whole can of worms. How do you want to be? What do you want to do? That determines whether something's better or worse. It's better or worse relative to your ideals. If you want to be in pain, then pain is better than pleasure. And then at that point, what is pain or pleasure? And you got all these descriptive words, and you know what? They don't mean much when you look close at them. Why? Because they're subjective. But, whoa, here's the big bloop. There is no subject. So if it's subjective but there is no subject, then it doesn't exist. And that's the whole thing. That's a whole can of worms. You go, oh, what's thinking? You go, what's the mind? You go, you figure it out. You don't know. You can look into that for a while. You can go, you can go crazy with that shit. And, the transmission of the mind, or whatever the fuck, by Huang Po, they say, the way to become enlightened is to put an end to conceptual thinking. To make your mind motionless. No conceptual thinking. Conceptual thinking being basically all thinking. Finna be like, this is good, this is bad, or stuff like basically that. Well, if you stop thinking stuff is good or bad, you basically have total freedom. At that point, you're not chained by any kind of preference or preference for reaching preference or whatever. You're not. It's all optional at that point. So take it or leave it. It's not necessarily better or worse. Again, those are just ideas, subjective ideas. Kindness versus hatred, ideas. Good, all that. Better, worse, good, bad, nice, attractive, unattractive, all these ideas. These are subjective ideas. You can get rid of them, and then what are you left with? You're left with the reality. You're left with what's real. And what's there's not much. Not much to think about, at least, once you start seeing it for how it really is. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about something normal. Let's talk about something groovy, like college football. Okay, so college football. At the beginning of the news, it's always popping with college football. Something's always going on. I just watched the Johnny Manziel documentary on Netflix. It was good. It was fine. It was like an hour and 20 minutes. I learned very little new knowledge. I thought it was interesting. They said that they made up a front, kind of a front or something. They made it seem like he had a bunch of money from oil in the family, but really he was making money from autographs, which is interesting. I didn't know that. Also, I made a note of it's crazy that he won the Heisman when he was a freshman. It's very difficult. That it's very surprising that Johnny Manziel won the Heisman as a freshman because it's very difficult to even start in college football as a freshman. I mean, freshmen are so much younger than seniors, and sometimes you got 5-year seniors, so very young comparatively, not as big and strong, not as experienced. But he still got the Heisman, best player in the country. And then he left college as a sophomore. That was probably not the right decision, but his draft stock was high at the time, so maybe there was a certain push about it. I think it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if he stayed till he was a senior, but I guess we'll never see that because that's not what happened. You can't even imagine it, because if you imagine it, you're going to imagine something that's inaccurate. You can't imagine stuff like that in an accurate way, because you don't know how it would play out. So there you go on that. I just got a sudden flash of thinking about Disney World, so now I'm going to talk about that. What is there to say about it, besides that it's pretty fun, This isn't an advertisement, but I have good memories there. There's a lot of cool rides and cool theming and cool foods. But I know Disney's having trouble right now. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I've seen that they're interested in maybe selling the company. So that would be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know who they would sell it to. Maybe Apple, but I read that Apple's not interested at all. But you never know with these things. You always hear you hear lots of different things in the reports. So you never know what to believe. But we'll see on that. It's been hot out in summer. This summer it's been hot out, so a lot of people are thinking about climate change. As far as that goes, I definitely don't like it. Don't like the climate change. Not at all. I don't like that it's going to affect me. I have to live here for hopefully longer period of time. I hope I live past 40, I hope I live past 60. I hope I live past 70, I want to be here for a while. I want to get my full bang for my buck, So I would prefer it if there weren't too much climate change. It would be kind of cramp my style, Nobody wants a shorter movie. They want a long. Well, that's not necessarily true. Some people like a short movie. I like a long movie. I don't want to get kicked out of the theater before the movie finishes. I want the full movie. Yeah. So hopefully, I think there might be a push towards that naturally. People like to naturally go for what's good. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's a coping mechanism, but I feel like people on the net, they're trying to do something that's productive. Instinctually, even if they're psychopaths, they want some kind of approval or something. Or they don't like pain. Once it starts affecting everybody starts to work on it to change it. Because it affects everybody, so it's a common goal. It's really, it should work itself out, really. But we'll see how that goes. I'm moving on to Legos now. I just thought of Legos. What is there to say about Legos? Well, I'll tell you this. You don't want to step on them. You step on a Lego, that's a bad deal. It's been talked about. I'm not the first one to mention it. You don't want to step on a goddamn Lego. It's not a good deal. Also, you know what you don't want to do? You don't want to buy them. You know why? Because what are you going to do? You're gonna build it, and then you're going to be done with it. But I'll tell you this. If you're going to build it and use it as a decoration, maybe you should buy it, because that would be a cool idea. But what happens a lot of times is they build it, and then they just don't do it again. So it's waste. I'll tell you this. It would make a lot of sense to, if you're going to make a Lego and you want to, I don't know how many people do this. We didn't do it in my house, but it would make a lot of sense to build it and then put it back in the box with the instructions so you can build it again sometime. Kind of like they do with puzzles. But if you don't do that, then you're wasting the product. You gotta be spatially efficient with the way you store that stuff too. You want to put it in a place where it's not gonna take too much space, because space is valuable. It doesn't come free. It doesn't come cheap. You only have so much room and wherever you're living up, shacking it up. So you gotta use it wisely. You don't want to have a bunch of clutter sitting around everywhere. That's no good. I just thought of money and saving money. I'll tell you this: when it comes to saving money, you want to save a lot of it. You don't want to be spending all your dollars at the local casino just because you have a good feeling and you think God owes you something. Oh my. God's not going to throw you a bone. He's not going to send you out to the casino to give you his love. No, gambling's a sin. It's written in the goddamn Bible. So, it's not like you're gonna go down to the casino and it's gonna fix your problems. No. Probably the opposite. You're gonna get drunk and you're gonna put it all on black and you're gonna lose and you're gonna say, what happened? And you're gonna realize 20 years later that you gave all your money to the goddamn casino and none of it's in the bank. It's in the casino. What are you gonna do then? You're gonna have to sell your car, gonna sell your house. Guess what? Now you don't got nothing. But I'll tell you who will be happy will be those goddamn Indians who own the casino. You just gave them all your money. Good job. And hey, doing it at the casino, it's no good. At least if you did it at the lottery, the government would get the money, and then I would benefit. You see, I don't benefit when you do it at the casino, but I benefit if you do it at the lottery because the government takes like half of the money from the lottery. That's a good deal for me. The more money the government has, the less they're gonna need from me. So it's better like that for me, but it's like a small difference. I'm just saying my personal preference if you're gonna gamble away your hard-earned bucks. And there's plenty of jobs out there. There's plenty of jobs. If you want minimum wage, you gotta bite the bullet. Or you could go to a short little trade school session, and then you learn enough to make like 30 or 40 an hour. It doesn't take much training, but the job may be hard. You gotta measure it out. You gotta go, which job is easy, which job is hard. You gotta find a middle ground. You gotta see what works for you. You gotta find your sweet spot that maximizes all the things you care about. So, I guess that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening.